the Australian's New South Wales political reporter, Alexi Demetriadi. Alexi, thank you for your time. The Muslim Vote isn't a new organisation. They have a very prominent model along these lines in the United Kingdom. I mean, clearly it's been successful there. They've imported it here. But it looks to me like they're really ramping up this campaign since the suspension of Fatima Payman. So the timing, at least, is related here, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The Muslim Vote AU, the Australian model, it was established in December, and then we've covered it, yourselves covered it earlier this year in March and April. What looks like a sister campaign, also called the Muslim Vote in the UK, is endorsing candidates, giving the Muslim community a vote on a guide on how to vote in the British election this Thursday. It was in its embryonic stages, our understanding. Over the last couple months, it was still getting its feet. It's run by a popular and respected community leader called Sheikh Wessam Chakawi. And then on Sunday, it opened applications basically for expressions of interest, candidates that wanted to run either for or backed by the Muslim Vote. And then, of course, with Senator Payman's suspension on Sunday, over the last 48 hours, it's really, really ramped up, covered everywhere in the media. A spokesperson for the group has been saying that they accepting candidates will run candidates in Sydney. What that entails, I think, is still a bit unclear, whether it will be a case of independents backed by the campaign, or reports earlier, a bit earlier today, on that it looking to establish a political party. So it really has ramped up its operations, its activity, since Sunday, and there is anger especially in the Southwest Sydney community at that decision on Sunday, and they're riding that wave essentially.
It would be interesting if it was to form a political party in an official sense. That's different than the Teals, although let's be honest, they are a political party. You know, how much fundraising it will do, who sits behind the organisation, and will they have a broader platform beyond the Gaza issue? Because that's one of the criticisms I have of this organisation in the UK. They are just basically wanting to put pressure on the UK government about policy positions that really just are Gaza positions, Hamas-type positions, nothing really to do, at this stage at least, Sharia law and other things could come, about policy change for residents of the United Kingdom per se. Do we know any more about what's on the table here with this organisation in Australia?
Yeah, so I think it's accurate and fair to say that the main tenet and main platform they will run on will be Palestine. I think that's evident and that's accurate. That's the issue, particularly across the Southwest Sydney community, particularly in areas in Melbourne, that people from the Muslim community want to vote their Labor incumbents out on. The campaign has said that it won't be exclusively to that issue. They will also run on cost of living, housing, and facilities that cater for the community. So whether that be, ensuring there's resources, centres, stuff like that. So it has said it will focus on other topics, but I think it is.
Well, what about immigration, Alexi? Because immigration was a question that came up from one of the Teals today about visas coming out of Gaza. Now, I think the government's got to be very careful who it gives a visa to coming out of Gaza, given the support of that community for terrorism in the past. They should be checked. There should be security information provided, or they don't come. But one of the Teals was pushing the government pretty hard to say, why are you refusing to give some people visas? I suspect that will also be on the table.
It's going to be interesting to see, especially as we're near a likely early 2025 election, what sort of policy platform they really put on the table, what sort of policies they will say they will campaign on. It's going to be fascinating to see how that works out over the next couple of months. I think the broad Palestine sort of platform that they have said they will run on and are likely to run on, I think will encompass everything that that community has concerns with what the government's doing or not happy with certain decisions they've taken. So I think we'll have a clearer picture, particularly as we go into the spring, what sort of exact policies or platforms or what they're going to campaign on specifically in the Palestine space. So I think we'll have a clearer picture on that in the coming months, for certain.
I will note, as I just did with Andrew Clennell, the fact that they've got Glenn Drury involved, giving them all the sort of insider backroom political support, of which they'll pay for dearly. That says to me that they're pretty serious. Thanks, Alexi. Thank you for your time.